I'll call the commission meeting to order. It is Thursday, July 25th. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Western Commissioner Hosey Blue.
Present.
Eastern Commissioner Bradley Jackson.
Present.
Presiding Commissioner Lynn Morris.
Present. If you all join me with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Great way to start the day on a beautiful day. Okay, we have the approval of today's agenda. We have approval of last meeting's minutes, and we do have a closed session on June 20th. It was per RSMO 610.021.12. It was contract negotiation. We also have a regular session, July 18th session. We also have approval of and discussion of financials. We have a court order, certified court order, and it is 07-28-2024-01. It's a total of disbursement of $209,810.86, and that goes to the Common 1, Common 2, and all the special road districts, and 15% of that total goes to the bridge fund. So I'm looking for a motion to okay the consent agenda as stated.
So moved.
Second that motion, sir.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it passes. So today, this commission meeting is all about our purchasing manager, Ms. Kim. It's all about her today, and we're going to see what she's been up to.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're going to start with the first one. This is, I'll make sure I'm doing the right one. It's for X-ray equipment. X-ray, nope. And backwards. Here's the X-ray equipment. Okay. So this is a maintenance award for SoSource 2024-4. A maintenance agreement for an X-ray equipment. This is the X-ray equipment that we have over at the Circuit Court building. It's with Astrophysics. The equipment was installed in 2019 and the service agreement expired. So this is a new service agreement for 1 year with options to renew for 2 additional 1-year terms. It's a sole source agreement as they're a manufacturer and a maintenance provider. They're a maintenance provider for the equipment. It was advertised in Christian County Headliner. It was advertised in the Springfield News Leader. It was placed on our Christian County purchasing website for 2 weeks. So I ask that our recommendation is that you award the agreement with Astrophysics.
Okay, any comment or questions concerning this renewal of contract?
I have nothing.
Just kind of a general question. When we do these sole source ones like that, what happens if along the way they jack the price so high and it's like still sole source? What do we do?
We can negotiate with, when it's a sole source, we have the ability to negotiate. Normally, because they know,
Yeah.
I would say most companies know when they're the sole source provider. So the worst thing is, we throw them out and we go put a new X-ray machine.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
But that would be...
That would be rare. Yeah, maybe never, hopefully. Okay, thank you. No more from me, sir.
All righty, I think that's a good contract renewal, so need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Got a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes, so that's first one taken care of.
So the second one is for office supplies. So this is a contract renewal for ITB 2023-16. We awarded this last year. This is the first contract renewal. Last year we received 5 proposals and narrowed it down to the lowest 2 price vendors, which was Quill and Staples. Both companies have provided us online portals for each department, so it makes ordering a lot more efficient. And while both office supply companies are both are office supply companies, Staples owns Quill.
Gotcha.
And it was so weird because I was asking, why don't they just bring them into Staples? And Staples said, Quill is the largest online provider of office supplies in the country, no box stores, and they know what they're doing, and we want to leave them alone.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why we did both is, number one, it's just good to have two vendors, but Staples has a better furniture, office furniture, if we need to use that. So our recommendation is to approve the contract renewal for Quill and Staples for another year.
All righty.
And as we currently have it set up, each elected office is ordering their own supplies at their own leisure versus having a centralized hub for office supplies here at the county.
Well, let me tell you how this works. When I had this set up last year, when I first got here, everyone would just get a quote and send it to me, and then I had to place all the orders, and it was very time consuming. So when I had this bid out, I had it where it was going to be online ordering from all the departments. It still comes to me. I do the final approval. So when I get their requisition, and then I pull up their order, and then, you know, if I see something that's really out of line, I'll go out and look at Amazon or Staples or whoever else to see, just to make sure that we are ordering the right price. I also, when I bid this out last year, I had looked at the prior year at what we had really spent our money on, and there was 133 items that I did a market basket. I'm sorry, I'm giving away too much more than you want, but I did 133 market basket items. These are the items, pens, pencils, whatever it is that we, Staples, that we normally buy. And then that's how I started this bid. So every vendor, all 5 vendors, gave us prices on all of those 133 items. And plus they gave us discounts on the different categories other than just that. So again, we narrowed those down to Quill and Staples.
Yeah. I think that's really good. So you're still overseeing that
I'm
process.
still overseeing all of the office
Okay.
Yes.
That's really what I was wanting to
Yes.
know, that we're not single sourcing to the point where you're ordering in bulk and issuing it out on a need-by-need basis, but you're still overseeing all of the purchase orders that are coming through each
Yes.
office.
And you know, and again, maybe someday we'll have, you know, an office where we would have bulk paper, bulk whatever, but we're just not there. We're just not there. So, yeah.
I think it's good too, because the way you're doing it, because the office holders, every once in a while, they get maybe a new employee that's going to be doing the purchasing, and you're going to kind of watch to make sure we don't have excess inventory and things like that, because you can imagine with as many people as ordering that you could end up with lots of dollars just sitting there waiting to be used, but you wouldn't have to spend it right now.
And I will tell you, Quill probably has a 2-day turnaround. I mean,
Yeah.
they are so good to us.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a great contract. So need a motion to approve that renewal for those two companies?
So move.
Second that motion, sir.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's a great renewal.
okay. This is a ITB for the inmate phone and video visitation. This is the second contract renewal for an all-in-one inmate communication solution for our inmate phone and video visitation. It was initially awarded in 2022. There were 6 bidders, and the vendor HomeWave was the best service provider. This is a revenue contract, and so I would ask that you would award the contract renewal.
Okay. Any comment or questions about that renewal?
Not from me, sir.
Okay.
No, I think I'm fine.
Okay. We need a motion to approve that renewal.
I make that motion, sir.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you. We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All righty. Very
Thank you.
good job.
Appreciate it.
You did all that and went to the 2 St. Louis Cardinal baseball games?
That's a 2 St. Louis baseball game.
So, good work.
Thank you.
With
Appreciate it.
you and your assistant that helps you.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah, she's doing a great job, and she's helps you when you're not here.
Yes, sir.
Put her in charge. All right, we're to communications, and the only communication I have, we'll see if you gentlemen have something. August the 1st, next week is our commission meeting on Thursday. We will start that at 9 a.m. We have a 10 o'clock planning zoning. I think 4 cases that the planning zoning's already heard. We've got those. And then at 9 o'clock, the very first thing on the agenda will be Austin Facts will be here, and we're going to read word for word the new ordinance. So be sure and study every change that was made. We have copies of it. Austin's already sent it down here to us. And make sure that you're in agreement with everything that we made a change from back in December when we passed the ordinance for the senior tax freeze, because we'll want to pass this one, and this will complete that process. Also, we're going to be inviting all the committee members, so the different office holders, like the collector, the assessor, the clerk, and a key person from each of those, and then Ms. Kayla. We've had a tremendous amount of work, over 4,300 approvals, probably still increasing a little bit. We still have letters that this commission office is sending out. We still maybe up to around 700 applicants. There were so many applications that came in that last week that we're really still working through the whole process, but it goes several places, and we want to acknowledge those people. And I think Ted was going to get a little report of, and maybe Danny. So anyway, that'll be really important, and then we'll have some other items on the agenda too. Any other items that you guys want to discuss?
No, you kind of stole my thunder. That was one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we pushed through as quickly as possible, just because I think we've done a very good job. There's a lot of seniors that were excluded from the ability to participate in Senate Bill 190, so Senate Bill 756 has cleared that up. We just need to do that adoption. And I've had several conversations with several of those people, and while it won't do any good this year since the window is already closed, it will give staff plenty of time to prepare for next year. And I think it's great that we were able to implement this thing to assist our seniors, and we really didn't impact the existing taxpayers with putting on new staff. So all of our office holders have done a fantastic job of making sure that the additional workload was processed in a timely fashion without impacting their budgets at all, and I think that's a very good thing. All those staff members should be commended, because it created some stress in some of our areas of operation because of the additional workload and the shared space, and I think they've done a fantastic job. So.
And we're not done yet, because we now have to input a lot of stuff into the computer system and our new software system that we bought to make this whole program work. Even Ms. Kayla volunteered to help input, as we have some of the people up there in the clerk's office is busy right now with elections, and so we're all going to have to still share our time together and try to get this all done. The other thing that I worry about, and we'll talk about it next week, is just to make sure that we now start to communicate. I'm trying to communicate to every senior I talk to. I think they're going to be confused and a little disappointed that there's not a tax savings this year. You know, it was such a very important deal for them, and we realized that. That's why we did it. However, this is a non-assessment year, and so every other year it's going to be that way from now on. So as I've been trying to tell seniors, and you all probably should tell them too, this year will not be a year that you're going to see a tax savings. But every other year, so in 25, 27, 29, you'll start seeing a tax savings. because I think we're going to get a lot of calls after the fact. Well, what good was that? You know, well, they don't understand how the tax assessments work and things like that. But anyway, we'll work on that. We got time. We have time, and we're still working through the trust issue. I hope that we got most of the trust done. I'm going to be working with Danny today to find out exactly how many people still have not gotten their trust redone. Because it's simple. It's a one-page process from their attorney, and we just don't want to exclude anybody. But if we do exclude them, they didn't lose anything this year. That's the good news. Is I've already told one lady, she was complaining about it yesterday, and I said, well, if you don't get it done, you have a whole year to get it done, because you're not going to really save any money this year because you didn't have your property reassessed. But I said, I'd like to get it done for you right now. So, so that's what you do. So any other comments?
No, better get it done.
Just
sooner
my
rather than
comment
later.
on that first thing is, I think if we just emphasize to people that this Senate bill that we're talking about, what it says is you will not pay more in taxes than you did last year. So this year they may pay the same, but that's still a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
You see a tax bill and it didn't go up, it makes
Right.
you feel good.
Right.
And then the next year, of course, they'll see the credit on there. And the other thing to note is that if a place like Nixa, if they do pass their own increase later, they still have to pay that tax increase. That's voted by the constituents. That's my understanding. Would that be yours?
No, I believe that if a levy changes, they're still frozen. I believe that to be accurate.
Oh, okay. Well, that be
We can bring that up to Mr. Fax, but what I believe to be the case is if the levy is voted on by the public, the people that are frozen still remain frozen.
I like that. I just did not know for sure. I thought maybe
Which was a
if it
point
new
of
increase.
concern by a lot of people across the state, because then you created a non-impactful voting class that
Yes.
could vote for things and not be impacted by those. But you know, those occurrences may be few and far between.
Right. Okay.
Because most of the levy increases that we see are not necessarily annual increases, but they're no tax increase bond issues
Right.
or whatever that the
Yeah.
schools do. Those are typically what we see on the ballots more
Right.
frequently than anything
Yeah.
else. So one of the things I want to make sure, and we can have this discussion next week, or we could even put it off into the future, but I want to make sure that we address and we work out the kinks in a timely fashion, that the renewals of this, so anybody that gets frozen, the renewal of this tax-free for them is not as burdensome as the initial application process. It's not been easy on our staff necessarily to process all these people coming in, especially towards the end of the filing window. But then for so many of our seniors to have to then go and come down here in person, or go find a notary somewhere, or come here to utilize a notary service. I just want to make sure that our renewal is a seamless and easy process for our constituents. So,
Because we'd said originally that the renewal would be a single sheet, and it's basically signing your name saying things haven't changed.
yes. And there has been some talk about those signatures would need to be notarized. Now, the clerk's office said they don't believe that they would need to be notarized because we can verify signature against signature if we need to. There's also been conversation that, well, we need to make sure that no one's cheating the system. I would prefer to write rules and ordinances that don't inconvenience the 97% of people that do the right thing to catch the 3% of people that do the wrong thing. I would rather make the rules that favor the 97%. But that's me, and I just want to make sure that we discuss that and we get that lined out.
Good point.
Yes.
So I agree. So what we'll do is the committee, the people that have been meeting around this table that made this thing work, we'll be having a meeting. It could be today, tomorrow. It will be before next Thursday. So whenever we can get all the elected officials and Kayla can get them here, we will have a meeting. Whatever the committee decides, we'll bring it back to the commissioners to to approve, okay? So that is something that we already have in the works, because we need to kind of know where we're at right now on this process, and what do we need to do to finish it off, and then what do we do next year? And I agree, the sooner we know all that stuff, the better it is. So you all will be privy to everything that is discussed at the committee and the recommendations, and then we can decide how we want to make it work, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, anything else?
I have no further.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.